Welcome to Oakwell, where the championship season has come to an end for Norwich City as champions, receiving the trophy on that pitch behind me here at an unfortunately empty and pretty soggy Oakwell. After a 2-2 draw, a brilliant season comes to an end in not the most exciting fashion, but certainly Norwich having to show what they're made of, having to fight back twice to get a point. Didn't matter from Norwich's point of view, of course, and a point was good for Barnsley as well. Actually, they finished fifth because Bournemouth lost, so they will play Swansea in the playoffs, and that's not actually a bad thing from Norwich's point of view if you think about it. That means Brentford play Bournemouth, and realistically, the team that Norwich probably don't want to get promoted is Bournemouth, probably followed by Brentford. So that one of those would be eliminated in the semi-finals could well be a good thing, but we shall see. It's not really what we need to be worrying about at the moment, is it? The here and now is finishing first with 97 points. Just cast your mind back to that short spell between seasons last summer in August when we didn't know what was to follow. If anyone had offered a Norwich City fan that finish, they would have absolutely snapped their arm off for it, because it is exactly what the club needed. It is exactly what Daniel Farke and Stuart Webber needed. They go back to the Premier League feeling great. And I remember, you may have seen in our trailer for the stuff that we've got lined up for you on Sunday evening, which I'll plug now nice and early, pinken.com, all our social media channels. We've got a promotion/title celebration party for you. We've got some really good video stuff, some live chats lined up, which will hopefully really help you savour this season. But I remember saying in one of my video verdicts at the end of the Premier League that Norwich were heading back to the Championship with the tails between their legs. Well, they're heading back there with spirits absolutely sky high, flying high on cloud nine, and it's all the cliches you want to chuck at it, really. And they have fully deserved to finish top. They've dominated the division. They went top in the middle of November, and other than Brentford very briefly knocking them off after that little 3-game blip, they have fully deserved to remain in that position. So it's exciting to start looking forward. There's been a lot of emotions swirling around as well today. We spoke to Alex Tete and Mario Vrancic after the game. This was their final appearance, of course. They both started. Tete was given the armband as his 9 seasons came to an end. He was replaced in the 87th minute by Jacob Sorensen, and a really rousing reception for him from the subs, from the coaches, from everyone associated with Norwich who was in the ground today. And you could see how emotional he was. We heard it. I think we nearly tipped him over the edge a couple of times, because we were, trying to get as much out of him, as much sense out of him as we could in the scenario, really. And he was struggling to put his words together, but I think we'll hear more from him. Probably the key lines obviously spoke so warmly about the club and about what's been achieved in his 9 seasons. He loved that the fans voted him Player of the Month. I thought that was a really nice touch. He said Daniel had only told him he was starting and that he'd be captain in the final meeting ahead of the game, so nice and late notice, because Farke thought that he probably wouldn't be able to handle the emotions. You may have seen the photos that they put up in the hallways at Colney of Vrancic and Tete from their Norwich days, and it just spoke so nicely about how much the club has improved during his 9 seasons at the club. So lots more of that to come. And on the pitch, just quickly to run through it, they did have to work hard for it. 2-2 draw. Barnsley were leading 2-1 at half time. Emi Buendia had equalised with a header, his 15th goal of the season. That was from a Max Aarons cross, a really nice team move. They equalised within 2 minutes. And then the second half, Norwich levelled, but a bad element of today was that Kenny McLean came out for the trophy presentation on crutches with a big brace on his right knee, and Daniel Farke has said that they fear that is ligament damage, so we'll have to see how that one settles down. But of course, he was really looking forward to playing at the Euros with Scotland. They're in the same group as England. Grant Hanley, of course, wanted to go as well, so unfortunately for Kenny, that's not looking good at this moment in time. And that was the bad element of it, but that came about 5 minutes after half time. A really heavy challenge on him from Michael Hellick, the Barnsley defender who was their player of the season, and he takes the ball pretty cleanly. I think I haven't seen a replay of it, but he really thunders into the challenge, and the Norwich bench and players were not happy about the tackle at all. Daniel Farke certainly thinks it should have been a penalty at the least, but he did take the ball. It's just the impact, really, which seems to have done for Kenny. So that is a real concern. But Adam Eder comes on. He's not played for the last 10 games because he had a hernia operation in March, and within 2 minutes has scored. And a really unselfish play from Todd Cantwell. Buendia gets down the right, pulls across back to the edge of the box, and Cantwell just nice and calmly controls the ball and tees up Eder to smack it into the top left corner past the keeper from about 10 yards, something like that. And from there, I think both teams were pretty happy with it, although Buendia did have a massive chance to win it, to be fair. I haven't got the minute in front of me, but I think there was about 10 minutes left at that point, and 1-2 with Kieran Dowell, who'd come off the bench, and the ball, he just had the time to allow the ball to bounce in front of him and then take it on the half volley, but smashed it wide of the left post, and that really would have put the cherry on top of this season if they could have won it like that, particularly with the Championship Player of the Season finishing it off as well. But it wasn't to be. A 2-2 draw, and possession-wise, Norwich had 67% of it. They had 5 shots, 2 of them on target, and Barnsley had 15 shots, 7 on target. So you can see that Barnsley haven't really made them work today, and they needed to maintain momentum. Alex Mowat, their sort of star player and captain, he didn't play today. Little injury, just being kept back for the playoffs, basically. A couple of their other good players, Solbauer and Daryl DK, both kept on the bench, although DK did come on as well after Norwich had equalised. Valerian Ismail made 3 substitutions, changed his entire attack, and went for it. Their first goal had at Norwich as well, actually. Daniel Farke not at all happy with it, and Carlton Morris involved, that one, the former Norwich player, of course. Andrew Omobamidele just dwelt on the ball for a little bit too long. Morris is there and hunts him down and then muscles him off the ball, really, and Norwich felt that was a foul. Personally, I'd think it was a little bit soft, to be honest, to have given it as a foul, but you've seen them give them. It's that type of one. It's a bit of a 50-50 challenge. You're not sure which way it's going to go, and with that one, I think probably because Omobamidele invited the challenge as much as anything, the referee allowed play to carry on, and then it's a pretty simple finish for Cauley Woodrow. So that was the opener. But that's sort of enough for the football for today, really. It was all about Alex Tettey. 263rd appearance for the club. That moves him into 32nd place in the club's all-time appearances list. Finishes joint 32nd with John Polston. Mario Vrancic, of course, moves on as well, and he said he wants a holiday and a bit of time to think before he decides on what he's going to do with next stage of his career. Hasn't really got anything lined up yet. Alex Tettey did sort of let slip that the Rosenberg rumour that came out during the week, one of his former clubs, that might be a possibility, but he said he's basically got until the middle of next week to make a decision. He did mention it's sort of toying whether he wants to hang up his boots yet or not, so that'll be one to keep an eye on. But yeah, they were sort of the main focuses of today. Watford won as well, so Norwich finished 6 points clear in the end, but 97 points. And there's been quite a few club records involved in this strange and surreal season. You remember the 9-match winning streak. That's the only time in the history of Norwich City that a Norwich team have gone 9 straight wins in all competitions. So that was February-March, I think, wasn't it, which really teed up the title success. The best season away from home as well, 15 wins, 49 points. We'll probably never know the answer, but of course the empty stands, what effect did that have on that? Everyone's probably already expecting this season to have that asterisk alongside it, isn't it, about it being a behind closed door season. So that's one which we can debate forever and never know the answer to. And 2 goals being conceded today means that they finished on 36, which is the fewest they've conceded in a 46-game season before. They conceded 39 in the 2003-04 season under Nigel Worthington when they won the title, and they also conceded 36 in 1971-72, all the way back when Norwich were first promoted to the top flight under Ron Saunders. But that was a 42-game season, so this is, they've played more games. This is a bigger achievement. It is the club record. So there's loads of positives to enjoy, and that's what we will be able to do this summer. We get a proper summer. After that 3-4 week break between season and pre-season last year, and all the strangeness that was going on, and uncertainty, and we can put this season to bed and just start crossing our fingers every single day to hope that you guys are back in the stadiums next year, because even the title presentation, it was great, but the players, it was raining. The players pretty quickly after a few minutes later were back to the dressing room wanting to get on with it. It was the 3rd time that they'd been able to celebrate. So it's all over. They've done a great job. They can be really satisfied with themselves. Whether they can actually escape abroad or not, I don't know. But whether they have a staycation or just enjoy a bit of family time, whatever, they can all put their feet up and look back on a job very, very well done. Thank you very much for watching the video verdicts this season. Of course, we won't be far away. We'll keep the pod and the videos coming throughout the summer, and Pinkham.com will keep you up to date with all the latest transfer news and views. And as I said at the top of the video, Sunday night from 6 o'clock, keep it locked on our websites and social media channels. We've got a real nice bit of celebration and to start savouring this success properly. Thanks very much for watching.